thing that much of the church, and certainly the world, misses is that what Christ did for us, the fullness of what He's done for us. Galatians tells us that He became a curse for us. That which hangs on a tree is cursed. Jesus came and paid the debt and fulfilled the law and wiped out this curse. We were removed from the garden, from the presence of God, and when Jesus died, the veil tore, allowing us to be in the presence of God again, allowing us to boldly go before the throne anytime. Now, when I tell you that what Jesus did wiped out the curse, I know that there's a lot of women in the room right now that have had children that are thinking this dude's nuts. Because I remember giving birth. But let me tell you something. All right? A lot of times, it's because we don't really believe. A lot of times it's a faith issue. And let me just share a testimony with you to prove my point. Okay? There's a guy I know, and I don't mean personally. Okay, like I couldn't show up on his doorstep. He'd be like, "Who are you? Get out of here!" Okay, but I know this guy on that level. If you understand what I mean, and he's sharing a testimony, and I have no reason to doubt this man. Like, he's a really good teacher, very deep, and I was listening to him one time as he's sharing this testimony story when his wife is pregnant. His wife comes to him and tells him, as they're discussing about the epidural, if she's going to get it or not, and she says that she's not going to get it, and she goes on to say that no, because of what Christ did on the cross, I'm not under the curse any longer. Well, he's trying to be supportive. He's trying not to be a naysayer. He's trying to, definitely not speak negatively or speak doubt or anything like that. So he's just kind of like, okay, but I can tell that he's having some issues of doubt his own self on it. When it comes down to the day when they're in the hospital, it's time for the baby to come, and they, of course, offer her the epidural, which she turns down. And so here he is ready for this ride, whatever this is going to be like, right? Only to realize that she was absolutely 100% right, that there was no pain at all. The child came out, there was no labor pains, there was no pain during the delivery, and the child came out and like fairly easy and quick, and so he learned a lesson then. In fact, all of us should learn a lesson from that right there. She believed, she had that level of faith that she believed what the Bible said. And she took faith in that. She stood on that faith, and praise God that he didn't speak doubt or anything like that. I'm sure she was getting enough of that from other sources, who knows. And God showed up and said, "My word will not return void. It will go out and do what it's supposed to do." So this is this is like the issue, the problem in not just the church but in the world today, is that we are working to get around the curse. We're doing whatever we can so that we can just bypass, get around the curse, when all we have to do is come to Christ in faith. That's how you get around the curse. You come to Christ. But no, they'll get the epidural, right? They'll do their farming with AI-driven tractors, with climate control. They're using herbicides, pesticides. All these things are in place to get around the curse instead of just coming to Christ and believe in what he did. This goes back to that relationship. It's why we can go to him anytime. There's no veil there anymore. the church trying to hang the veil back up. No. Go to him. You guys good? All right.